We're recording. This is exciting. Okay, so guess what week it is? Week 5. Yay, yay. Hey, Jessica, I'm muting everybody. So let's recap week 4 really quick because I know I'm just getting homework coming in. So week 4 was all about work ethic. So I want to ask all of you, and I want you to type it in the chat. How has your work ethic been in a week of just maybe changing something? Okay, take a reality check because this is huge. We need to assess every week what was good, what was bad, what we need to change. And you can't beat yourself up, right? Like Kristen and I, we sometimes have days where you just put your hands in the air and go, tomorrow's a new day. That's how I felt today. So, you know what? We need to talk about that. So assess what was good, what wasn't good, and then I'll go through your questions later. One thing that I have to tell you I've done a little bit different is I was telling Kristen, I kind of created a new system because, you know what, as a director, we wear a lot of hats. And we do a lot of training, and we do a lot of conference calls, and we do just a little bit of too much sometimes. And so I went and got this really awesome, because, you know, I'm queen of notebooks. This one I think is changing my life this year in 2018. So I got this big monster 5 subject situation. Which it was the only one left there. So I don't know why people weren't buying it. It was seriously the only thing left there. But I was like, you know what? Every section is all divided by these nice little folders, right? I'm going to create sections in my life based on training, so I always have a collection of them. And what hit me, and I have to share this really quick, is when I was in DIQ, and I don't know if Kristen's ever done this, when I was in DIQ and I was running to get to 100 team members, I got one of those Hilroy duotangs, you know, when you were kids?
Yeah.
Holes on the side, and the front page I put what I was working for. So I was working for my first car, right? And I stuck a picture of the car on it. And on the very back of it, it was always this, right? It was just nothing. I divided it in half and wrote faces and money. And then inside every day, I was my to-date book. So every day literally was my 6 most important list. It was my projection, like every page was a day. And I went through my filing cabinet because I've been like trying to clear out stuff and shred things because of taxes and whatever. And I had 15 of those notebooks. And it's interesting because it's like, well, Kristen, she tracks, right? So Kristen knows where her power starts are. It's very good work ethic. And that's why Kristen's on our Boss Babes with us, because she's got really good work ethic. But it was about just simplifying and having systems that work for you. And I think that's what this whole program is. And it's, people are freaked out that this is a special club, but it's really no difference in a meeting. So, you know, this is kind of my change about just keeping everything together. And Kristen, is there anything, well, you've been on vacation, but is there anything you've changed a little bit since we've been doing these Boss Babes?
I'm just kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so in terms of 6 most important things, tracking IPAs, tracking faces, and just daily wins, that's just kind of me. I'm really keep it simple, sweetie. For me, I just have, I have my like real day planner. Sorry, I literally got home yesterday at 1 a.m. So it was Monday when I got home because it was 1 a.m. And it's like 10:30 for me right now, so I'm a little bit tired. So, but that's okay. So I just have like a binder like this, right? So, and I just do mine, like I was just talking to a consultant today about it, and I always, if I ever feel like I don't have bookings or things like that, so this is one thing, I don't know if this even answers your question because my head's a little foggy, but I always keep my leads all in here. So that's just something that I feel like now that I'm back from Mexico and everything, I'm just going to go back to this because it's a new year and maybe I haven't talked to these people or contacted these people in a month or a year. And I just keep this list growing. And I think it's powerful to do that, because sometimes I've been doing this 8 years. Sometimes it takes me 8 years to book someone.
Yeah. Is that the truth?
I'm not kidding. Like, it's true. It's just little sprinkles. So if you've been doing this 2 months, 2 years, 5 months, whatever, like, just don't give up. And so I think I did not answer your question whatsoever, but
This is a good work ethic.
what my heart told me to say.
Yes, and I think it's fantastic. Okay, so keep your homework coming. I want to know maybe also what's changed for like your weekly plan sheet. You know, are you using it? Are you color coding your day timer? We talked a bit about that on my Zoom call. WAS sheets, I haven't been seeing too many, so I'm really cracking down. If you would have seen my post, I made it more clear with my $100 days that I'm okay with any posts going on there. But if your posts aren't equaling your sales, I need to see a WAS sheet, because I'm okay with you moving stock and offering stuff, but you need a WAS sheet. Kristen.
Can I just say something? Life is really crazy and it's really busy and we can always have excuses, but it does take 21 days to create a habit. And I promise you, if you're serious about your business, if you take literally 3 minutes every night, like think of like how long you scroll Facebook for. Stop that for 1 second, move it to the end of your screen so you're not seeing that, and take those moments and use them productively. Go into your office, write out your 6 most important things for the next day, fill out your weekly plan sheet for that day, and check your schedule to see what's going on tomorrow. Did I say track your IPAs? Track your IPAs for that day. Honestly, you won't even be able to go to bed in 21 days without doing that. Mm-hmm. I guarantee it. Brandon, like, he'll, like, say I'm in the washroom and brushing my teeth and stuff, and he doesn't know I've done it yet. He'll say, have you done your 6 most important things? I've got him doing it.
Aww.
He has his own business, so I promise you, there's one thing to change. I know that Angela's probably talked about this till you're blue in the face. It's like, I've almost missed having a routine, like being away. So I'll just tell you, for taxes, if you stay to this, it'll be a breeze. Because when you're tracking your sales and you have this, easy peasy.
And it's funny you should bring up taxes, because Kristen and I talked about today how many consultants don't file taxes when they have a business, and they're really missing out on a serious benefit later, and tracking it properly. And like, even example, I have a friend who did a cleaning business and she never ever ran it properly, and now they're in a situation that she could have hired somebody, she could have had it very set and organized and ran this business while she has a baby. And it's so important to just do your WAS sheets. And do you know that you only have to have $1,000 a year in sales to get the tax benefits? That's it.
And they're huge.
Yeah. And you need it if you definitely in 5 years want to buy another house or change another house, or you need to do it if you are a stay-at-home mom. Don't just sweep that under the rug. My sister said to me tonight, she's like, do you know I'm not on our mortgage? And I'm like, you and your husband? I had no idea. And she's like, yes, because I had too many student loans at the time, and Sean figured it was too much work, so he didn't put me on. And now they can't qualify for a bigger house because she wasn't on the original mortgage. And she's just like, and then they're trying to renew, and she couldn't even act on his behalf because he was power. And how many women don't have their own credit because their husbands do everything? We really need to think about our future. So anyway, enough ranting on that. Let's get to week 5. Kristen. Woo, we talked about this earlier today, the art of communication. And I'm just going to see if I can screen share. One sec. Because I had this all planned earlier, Kristen, didn't I?
You sure did.
Okay, because we were talking. I'm going to see if I can make this big. Okay, so let's go over to Zoom and see if I can work my magic and screen share. Let's go. This is new for me. Screen share. Desktop. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Good job.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. So here's the deal. This is a communication needs. And Kristen and I talked about this because I'm the before 1980 and Kristen's the after 1980. Okay, so do you want to know how we communicate? Because the art of communication is this week 5. And it talks about, so I'm the blue girl, Kristen's the red girl, or pink. We'll call it pink. So I'm a little bit more old school. I'm a 77 baby. And we were brought up by a personal meeting, right? Old school. We never had cell phones. We had email in grade 12. Can't aging myself, but we learned a very different way. So meetings, phone calls, coffees, emails. Facebook never showed up until what, 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. And then texting is the newest thing. So you wonder why some consultants or customers have a tough time adapting. And so if we can teach you anything in the art of communicating, is every client that comes through your path or future client has a different way of communicating. And so depending on if they're the Gen X or the baby boomers, we need to adhere to that. So sometimes I'll call Carol Olson and she's like, oh, honey, don't text me Zoom. I don't even know how to work Zoom. Just call me. And so with her, she is definitely that customer that needs a lookbook. She's that customer that I need to phone for my PCP. And Kristen's going to talk a bit about PCP. She's that client that you need to focus on because they're not going to go to a department store and, and start, or internet shop, I should say. They're going to go and find a person. And then you've got Kristen. Now, some of us are a bit more savvy. I'm not going to say I'm totally all about not texting. Sometimes it's very difficult to get me that I Zoom you for a visit like I had with Jess this morning. But the after 1980s, okay, text messaging is number one. Don't you dare phone a Gen Y or X because they're not going to answer. Facebook media is the next priority. That is where they message. I would say, though, 80% of my clients message me to order product, and it's only because I've been training a lot of them. Email is middle of the ground. I think email eventually will go out, but for now, it's still part of things. A phone call and a personal meeting is all else fails, okay? I mean, really, it's just not going to work. People are really not into that. And so we're back. Okay. I'm going back to me now. Did it. Okay, this is exciting. Trying to get used to this. See, this tech savvy under 1980 girl would much rather not do that. But so the art of like how we communicate with our people and our customers, you need to adapt. And so Kristen, I want to get her to brag for a couple minutes about how important the PCP program is and why it's so valuable, because I would say that's your number one thing in your business. You need to work it because it pays you so well, because it's the art of making money. And Mary Kay was so brilliant to give us that. And clients still want to touch this. They still want to circle it. And remember, what I teach you guys at classes is to circle and make this so that they don't want to throw it out. So, Kristen, give us the 5-minute version of why PCP is so valuable, especially to your business, and why you love it so much. And then you can talk about that follow-up thing we talked about after, the good one.
Perfect.
Okay,
so PCP is super important. I've never missed a PCP since I started. One time I almost missed it. I was a day late and I begged and pleaded, and they let me pick 20 people to send it to because I was so frantic and there were so many people that I didn't want to let down. Why it's important. These are getting mailed to our customers for only $1.25. Everything is in there. They're seeing it. They're the first one. There's a little message on the back that's going to have your information. If you don't have a website, you need to have a website, especially right now because they're, what are they, $30, $35?
$30.
$30. Yeah. Crazy. I just got a customer today, sold a 3-in-1 cleanser because of my website. Did not do anything. No work whatsoever. She just sent me a text message because she's a Gen Y or whatever it is. Ordered product because of a website, right? So this is necessary. They want it. They need it. The other reason that I love it, so what I do after I enroll the PCP, I print the pages. So front and back, I print them. And then when I know that it's gone out, I probably would do it about a week after I know it's gone out so that those people that don't pick up their mail right away, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. Sometimes I'm a little bit of a slacker and I take a little bit longer than that, but I have intentions that are good. So then what I do is I find it is a really easy icebreaker to keep in touch or contact them. So I have something to say. I don't feel like I'm a pest. Not that I ever really do. but it's also a way that they can realize that they have a consultant. Because until someone buys from you a few times, they don't actually think of you as a consultant. But when they start to get this catalog every quarter, they really are going to think of you as that. So what I would do is I would just send them a little text or call, or depending on their age group, like what Angela just talked about, and let them know, like, did you get your catalog? I wanted to just check in. Was there anything that caught your eye? I have all the brand new stuff if you want to come by and check it out, or I'll have done a live video to show it as well. I find that my lookbook and the PCP makes me sales without me having to really do as much follow-up. So it's such a great follow-up tool, because follow-up is the most important thing ever. And I find it makes me look professional. Also, you get to order your products early. So all you have to do is enroll 10 customers, and you get early ordering. So that's pretty easy, right? Simple. It's a no-brainer. I just had a consultant that has been a consultant for about a year and a half. She never once enrolled PCP. She just did it last quarter. She's like, that was so easy. I'm so excited. So she said she'll never miss one, because she was also super sad to always miss early ordering. And especially when they launch products that sell out, like charcoal mask, lash intensity, remember these things? So that's a little bit of why I do and why I'd never miss it. And a lot of people just want to circle, like you said, circle, check it out. Especially with the book that we have right now. I don't know if you watched Angela's video that she made for you. If you didn't, totally watch it, the YouTube link. This is the best lookbook ever. Ever.
Okay, so Jamie asked a question, but thank you, Christina. You guys can help each other out. Yes, the PCP's every quarter. And it's actually, and I'm going to interrupt, it's so easy, because before you had to order your names and your gifts, and it got expensive. Like I would $500 a quarter, and I'm not gonna lie, because I had so many clients plus the gifts. Where now, it's cheap. It's $1.25 a name, and then you can pick as many gifts as you want. They don't run out. There's not a cap on them. And then if you did a direct ship, you have that option to add that special gift. We couldn't do that before, so they've made it so easy to do PCP, like so easy now. So yeah.
Another thing, can I just give you a tip? I don't know if this is like allowed. I'm sure it is, but so the PCP gifts either cost us $3 to $5. If you're working for your diamond, order them an eyeshadow as a gift, because it counts towards your quarter sales. Okay, so it's $4.50 for an eyeshadow. So that's what I do. Pick your favorite mineral eye color, because that's actually a wholesale thing towards your quarter sales, instead of a section 2. So it's a section 1 item. So I love that, and I find that a lot of my customers love it. And then they need to buy a compact.
You know what's brilliant? That's why she's almost the queen of sales last year. First runner up to the queen by like, no, I didn't want to tell you how much. Let's just say it was so close, but it doesn't matter, because everybody knew who's the queen. Yeah. Everyone has their timing, why they get things. Can you please put that in the message, Kristen? What did you want, Christina? What message?
She's typing? Maybe she's typing. That's what she does again for PCP.
Oh, yes, for later reference. Okay, so I'll start. So one thing before she does that.
Just let me know what I need to do.
Okay. And so tell everybody now, so after, what's the second step you do to kind of give that extra love as communication? Because I do this, probably not as good as Kristen.
When someone becomes a brand new customer for me, so whether, for example, Celia today, brand new customer, or after I've facialed, or someone's come to a party or something like that, I send them a thank you card. So I'm, as much as I'm like texter girl or whatever, I'm still very much mail cards girl. Thanks to Mary Kay herself, who really taught us that. So after I've done a facial or a party or follow-up, whatever, someone's hosted a party for me, or I've just got a brand new customer for whatever reason, I send them a card, and in the card I say, like, I'm always very original. I don't, like, I'm not a robot. I don't write like the same thing in every card. I just write what's on my heart. But I make sure I say, thank you so much for supporting my business. I hope you love what you got. If you have any questions, let me know. I always pop a business card. So I always pop a business card in there so she has like my information. And then, because I always tell them 100% guarantee, but then I also in there write, look forward to seeing you on your follow-up. And if I haven't, and I put the date. I always never leave a party without a follow-up, right? But if I don't have a follow-up date, or if it's a brand new customer, I write in there, I would love to get together with you, one-on-one, or something about another connection. Because like I said, they don't think of us as our customer or consultant necessarily right away. So it's all about like more things. And I think getting a card in the mail is like getting extinct, right? I'm so excited. I have a dream board here, and I have the cards that people send me on it. Most of them are from Angela. Because I love, see, it's right here.
No.
There, see, my dream board. But I just think that cards go a long way, and I don't throw out cards. Sorry, I just dropped it, but I can't pick it up. Yeah, so that's what I do, and I always get like a little text or a little email back or message, and they're like, thank you so much for the card. That was so nice. And it's just the and then some that we do in Mary Kay that can't be replicated.
Absolutely. And people they're like, oh, look at, that's so sweet. And when they put on their face every morning, they think of you, like the little things matter. So thank you, because that's a very good art of communication. So here's some questions you're going to write down. We will post a hard copy once I figure out. I'm having trouble with my PDFs today, but here's your questions for the week. So I'm going to get you to write them down because you're going to remember better. So the first question is, how do you think a boss babe communicates? With, and I'm going to give you some things. So how do you think a boss babe communicates with? I'm writing it down. This will adhere. Actually, one of you that is on is really good about text or Facebooking me her answers, and they're beautiful and they're long, and I love reading them because it shows that she puts a lot of thought into them. And instead of just writing them in her book, she writes them in, and then she really takes the time to send them back to me, and then she's got a reference later, which is really good. So how do you think a boss babe communicates with A, her mentor or leader or director? So how do you think you're going to communicate with me? Because we all know that we can be tough and we can be lovely. And sometimes I need to kick your ass, and so does Kristen, to challenge you. I mean, the times that I went to Jennifer Levers over certain things, she was tough. She always sandwiched it well with praise, as Mary Kay Ash taught her, but she always challenged me and said, no, we're going to hang up, and you're going to do this, and you're going to get back to me after you've done it. And she was way tougher than me, than any of you guys. So just know that, how do you communicate with your mentor or leader also reflects how you treat your clients. The second thing, how do you think a boss babe communicates with her team member prospects? Her prospects that she wants to interview. How do you think she communicates with them? Sometimes the art of asking the right question will actually challenge her to do Mary Kay, rather than spewing everything about this business because you're not listening to her. I learned very quickly from Carol and Jennifer that I needed to learn to ask the right questions. Not what I think she wanted to hear, but what questions. So I would also ask lots of questions and then respond to her. I didn't think, I think she's going to want to know about the diamonds in Mary Kay. She could not care. Maybe she didn't care. Maybe all she cared about was just some cash for groceries. But I was too busy trying to explain all the perks and the products and the discounts and everything, rather than listening to what she wanted. So how are you going to communicate with them? You're going to ask questions. That's the first thing. And the third one is, how are you going to communicate with your future team? Because you are going to have a team. You guys need to talk as if you are, because it's probably the most rewarding part of this business. Your clients are fantastic. We love them. We need them. But there's something greater that Mary Kay Ash wanted us to have a team. If I wouldn't have worked this business, Kristen McBride would not be in my life because I'm like her grandma, right? None of you guys would be here if you didn't try the product or have your sister in or me do your makeup for your wedding, right? I wouldn't be in your life. So how do you teach them and communicate them will make you better later. So just know that it's about layering, as Kristen said, right? It's that form of communication and making them feel good genuinely. So your second question, I will become a boss babe communicator. I will become a boss babe communicator in 2018 by, and you're going to fill in the blanks as to how you want to answer that. Now, this is can be open to lots of things. Maybe you feel you want to communicate or listen better. Maybe you're not a good listener. I was not a very good listener in the beginning, believe it or not, because in my head, and it's a comprehension difficulty, so somebody will say something, and I think of the answer without listening before they're done talking. And I had to learn very quickly, and Mary Kay helped me with that, to sit there and listen to that person and then put my hand up to tell you what's in my head. But it's all about the art of listening. We almost should do a whole call on that, because sometimes you'll say, how do you help a client with this skin issue? Well, did you listen to what her problems were? Did you listen? Did you ask the right questions? And a true leader and a true good Mary Kay consultant, which give me the 10 minutes. Good. You ask the right questions, right, Kristen? We always need to do that. So how are we going to communicate better? So weekly plan sheets, 6 most important lists, IPAs. Thank you, Kristen. Brain dumps. You guys know how I feel about those. Organize. And sometimes, and I watched this video about Darren Harding, and he said that we should throw out our to-do lists. And I was like, instantly I felt sick. And I'm like, well, I would never remember everything. But the interesting way is he said that to-do lists for a lot of people are procrastinations on paper, which I thought was very interesting, because how many people are list people? I grew up with a father that had lists. And then when Greg goes, honey, we got lists to do in this house. And I go, no. They're delegations. So we're going to write down what we need to do, and we're going to delegate or do it. We're not just going to make lists and then it's going to go out the window. So you need to do your dump and then delegate it in your day timer, right? You always got to have a plan. It can't just be getting it out. Something's got to come from it. Just really quickly before we end up, we got 8 minutes to go. I posted our February goals. You need to take this seriously. I'm going to be your boss and be a hard ass if I have to, but you need to set your intentions. Now we are already kicking into the 6th. We've lost 6 days. Now maybe some of you already done this, but Kristen and I need to know where you're headed, what your goals are. I just posted on my group where everybody was at my top 5 for the Court of Sales, and a few of you are on there. Know your numbers. That's a huge thing. So all you got to do is just take that amount divided by 5 months, February, March, April, May, and June, and you can have a diamond. It is not that difficult. Right, Kristen?
No.
That's your $30,000 minimum. That's not the extra $10,000 if you want money, because Kristen's already reached the $1,000 bonus because she's like a hot shot. I got to catch up to Kristen. So your goals are your sales, your faces and parties. You guys, you got to book parties. You need to believe you can have facias on your books. If you have no appointments on your day timer right now, you have no business. Okay, it's good to grow. It's good to do this, boss babe, but if you're not following through with everything we teach you, there's no point. So I really want you to sit down, make a list when this call's over, or do it on your 6 most important list, to go through Facebook, your contacts, your lead sheets, and go, I'm going to make some calls and set a goal. Yes, Kristen.
Really use that New York City contest, because it's only in 10 days. So like book people now for like just skincare stuff, and then like for before the 16th, and then really utilize that contest, because it kind of is another thing like the PPP thing. Like I said, how it is an easy like icebreaker. So now you have an easy icebreaker to be like, oh my gosh, you can win a trip to New York, and it just gets you excited, right?
Yes.
Women want to give you their opinion, or they want to help you. So word things that way.
Thank you. We do have next week, we're at Avenue Coffee, which we're going to be in the back room so we can do a Zoom for everybody who can't join us. And then the 2 weeks after, we're going to be doing Zooms because Greg now has to work. So I'll post that. But, you know, write your intentions for meetings. Write your intentions on when you want to check in with me. It doesn't have to be you're showing up at my door, but just phone us. We're here for you. Your other wins are working for your February bracelet, finishing your star, you know, meddling and sharing the opportunity. If you've got a goal to go into DIQ, you got to know your numbers. You should be in place for that. And then at the very bottom, you know, celebrate some wins that you've achieved, even in January, because I think many times we don't celebrate in the process. We are hard on ourselves. So know what you can commit to. I mean, more than anything, why are we in this business? We're in this business to make money and to grow as amazing women. And so sometimes we got to do stuff that scares the shit out of us that we don't want. Oh, sorry, there's kids in the room, but that scares us to grow. How, you know, Kristen is so phenomenal. I remember how many lunches we've had together, and she talks on cards to everybody, and she's so natural at it because she's so passionate about what she does. That's your job, is to share the love with everybody. I'm seeing little things come through, but go ahead.
No, I was laughing at what Jess wrote.
But I think more than anything, and maybe Kristen, could you do that before we close, is just tell everyone how you warm chatter, because you're a warm chattering freak and a wonderful one and a very good one at it, and she's so passionate about it, and you guys need to do what Kristen's going to do. Okay, so we're having lunch, Kristen, at a restaurant, Pan Pacific, I remember.
Oh, well, and then was it the waitress?
Yeah.
Oh, you're frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen?
Everyone's frozen but me.
Okay, just talk.
Okay.
You're good.
Oh, we're good? Was it the waitress? It was the waitress that okay. So I would just say, oh my gosh, thank you for making our lunch so special. You know, it wouldn't have been the same without you. I'm a sales director with Mary Kay, and I would love to offer you a free pampering session for making my day a little bit brighter. And then I just get my phone and I go to contacts and I say, here, do you want to put your phone number in there? I'll send you a text. And then I just text them. I'm going to text you right now, and then you'll get it, and then we'll connect and figure out a date. Or if I'm at the grocery store for shopping for shoes or whatever it is, at the park, whatever. It happened because I'm born and raised in Squamish and know everybody really, not now, but when I lived in Regina, or didn't live in Regina. When I had a boyfriend in Regina, I didn't know anyone, so I had to warm chatter. Did not warm chatter for the first year, and then I had to. So now I love it because
yeah. And I think that's all we have to do is put some, you know, cards and samples and hand them out. So I really want to challenge you guys for till next week is every day I want you to hand out a card. And if that becomes easy, you need to push yourself to 5, because the only way you're going to get really good at doing this, and say you're in Tim Hortons drive-thru and there's, you know, cute little girls at the window to say, thank you for my coffee. This coupon or this card is good for a pampering session. We all need makeovers. You're beautiful just the way you are, but you need me in my life.
And just keep the little mini hand creams or things like that in your card, because sometimes if the little, the lady at McDonald's, I'll just hand them a hand cream, and I'll make sure that I have a sticker on it, right? Like a sticker on the back.
Yeah.
So.
I love it.
Just brighten their day. And just like Angela, with your share the love.
Yeah.
With your top customers, mail them a card. It's just like my thing, but it's an extra treat out of the blue.
Yeah. You know, it's the same with sharing the love to Kristen's unit while Kristen was away. You know, share the love with 2 girls that earned $100 days. And you know what? It's nothing out of my time to take a card and pop in a little gift card and just say, you know what, thanks for keeping, you know, everything going. And in the card, Kristen, just so you know, it says, you know, congrats on the 100. What's that?
This is recorded.
That's okay. But so congrats, they'll see it, but there's a little challenge inside. So they have to do it and get back to me. So anyway, with a minute to go, Inspire Week 5. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you, Kristen.
You have a poem.
Okay, we don't have time. It says I'm going to cut off in 10 seconds. So I'll post the poem. Okay, go change your week. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you. It was fun.
It was fun. Okay, bye.
Bye.